Previously on Drag Duel, we had our warriors participate in the first ever Drag Duel Judges Roast. And damn did we get roasted. Everybody was catching strays left and right. They were flying. It was wild. Everyone did a great job, but it was Susan who took home the win, her first of the season in the end. The bottom two ended up being Christi, DaVinci, and Orbit, and in a camp as fuck lip sync to I'm Blue by Eiffel 65, Orbit took home the win and sent home the frontrunner, Christi. With our top five all having one win each, things are closer now than ever before.
My name is BUCY.
And I'm Derek.
And welcome back to Drag Duel, your new favorite online drag competition where the winner will get a grand prize of $2,500, courtesy of the Drag Detective.
Also, a $75 lash package courtesy of Lash Core.
Look at these lashes. Gorgina, go support Lash Core. And a fabulous nail package and a custom nail set, courtesy of Kitty Cosmetics. Roar. Go check out their store and their Instagram profile for some amazing nails. Our warriors have just survived the most shocking elimination of the season. With the frontrunner CHRISTIdavinci being eliminated, the drama started to brew.
Dynamics have shifted, rivalries have been building, and bitch, the drama is about to boil over. So why don't we go check in with our warriors?
I am really happy to be in the top five. I knew I wasn't going to win the roast, so I was very relieved to be high. My track record's getting there. I'm catching up, which is a good feeling. And being in the top five means that I am one step closer to being in the final, which I am now finally actually expecting to be in, when I've spent the entire competition being like, they'll probably eliminate me soon and this will all be over. And now I'm like, these motherfuckers better not eliminate me. I want to get to the end.
A little bit shell-shocked. Wasn't expecting to win anything this season, so cool. Not gonna lie, I think I deserved it. I think it was earned, but also like, did I have competition? Like, this is what I do, as opposed to everyone else who doesn't do this, so I should have won harder, realistically.
After surviving the bottom two by like the skin of my teeth and sending Christi home, which heartbroken about that. You would think that I would feel really defeated because I'm like, it's my second bottom two placement. I'm like, oh no. But given what the challenge is and what the runway is and what the whole round is about, low-key I'm confident, don't care. Call it delusion, I don't care, but I'm feeling very confident about this week, even though I was just in the bottom two, which still sucks shit, and I wish it didn't happen, but it did, so what's done is done. But contrary to popular belief, I'm not feeling like a sack of shit.
I feel a little like sad because I was expecting Christi to be here. So like her not being here is definitely a hard loss to me. But at the same time, it does feel good to be in the top five. I mean, I feel like I deserve top five. I feel like I've really been slaying it. So it's one of those things that I'm like, I'm just happy I'm here. We're so close to the end. 2 more people have to go and that's it. And then I make it to my final 3. So it feels good to be just like so close to the end.
I think Christi leaving is like crazy. I saw Christi as like not just a frontrunner, I saw her as like a finalist from day one for sure. And I think she's proven why she should be a finalist multiple times over. I think her downfall was that she was too confident and felt like she could like not do anything for some episodes because she had some of the best performances in the season. And I really feel bad about that. I wish she was still here.
I feel like Christi going home was kind of like a shock in the sense of like everyone thought Christy was making it to the finale. Christy thought Christy was making it to the finale.
Christy going, I kind of saw that. I felt Christy's energy just fading.
And I had to eliminate her. Ooh. Ooh.
I think with Christy leaving, it really left a hole in the front runner position in a way. I mean, she did have 2 bottoms, or well, she ended with 3 bottoms and 2 wins. But she still was the only person with 2 wins. All of us only have 1 win. I know wins aren't everything, but there's only 2 more challenges to wins. So it means that kind of like only 2 people are gonna have 2 wins. Somebody could have 3 wins and we could all have 1 win. Like, it really could go any way. But it kind of made it so the playing ground feels very even. It feels like anybody could really take the crown. So I'm interested to see how this shakes things up. I think that this week is really going to determine how people's mindsets are going into the semifinals and into the finals.
Oh, this is a very surprising top 5. There are a few people that I was surprised got here, myself included. I'm not gonna hurt no one's feelings, so I'm not gonna say who, but I think we all know who.
I expected like a lot of people to be switched out. I mean, watching the season, every single person deserves their spot here. If you were to ask me in August when we started, if they were all going to be here, I would not have said that. Basically everyone. I would say that this is probably, I didn't think anybody was gonna be here. Except for me, like, because of course me. But I'm just really proud of everyone. Everyone has proven their spots. I thought that like Titanic was gonna be more of a threat than Hydra. I thought Shanita was gonna be more of a threat than Tyler. I thought that Glass was gonna be here. I know Susan is super funny, but I thought her runways were gonna let her down a little more and it was gonna hurt her more, but it hasn't, so.
From the jump, from like the start, and this is no shade to Susan or Tyler or whatever, but I thought it was gonna be me, Chrissy, Trisha, Hydra when I liked her, and the 5th spot, probably like Shanita or something. Now it makes sense why all of us are here.
The person whose trajectory was really surprising is Trisha, because I saw her doing better through the competition than she has done, but I'm so glad my girl Trish is still here, because I think y'all did her dirty a couple of times and I think she deserves to be here.
I'm just happy that there's no more comedy challenges, no more ha 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 moments. I just get to serve for y'all and serve looks, so that is sickening.
Out of the top 5 here, honestly, Tyler has surprised me the most in recent weeks. Like, actually though, like I remember I Lux Noir London that bitch. I like, week 1, I was kind of whatever about the performance. I hated the look. Week 2, the look was fierce, but the audition tape was so forgettable. Week 3, the video was fine. The look was boo-boo, nasty. And this past week, the commercial was forgettable and the look was whatever. I just haven't been blown away by anything Tyler has done. I did my whole little whatever. It's a little cringe, but whatever, I don't care. It's also a little iconic, don't give a fuck. But like in recent weeks, I'm like a Tyler stan. Like, I don't care. Is this enemies to besties storyline? Like I don't care. I think Tyler surprised me the most, and now I'm like Team Tyler, Team everyone except HYDRA. And that's that.
It's one of those things that like, you just don't know how the competition's gonna go. You don't know how everybody's gonna take on the challenges. And everybody who's in the top 5 deserves their spot in the top 5 at this point.
It's a solid fucking top 5 with 5 amazing drag artists who are bringing completely different things to the competition. So I think it is a great top 5, if maybe a little unexpected.
So since last episode, me and HYDRA have not spoken. HYDRA has not come messaged me. She has not spoken to me. She has messaged Tyler, who is talking about it, but not me, which makes me interested why. And I'm not gonna reach out to her. She did me dirty. I don't really care. I'm going to say what I'm going to say because it's the truth.
Other than gathering her like a cheap chignon in the group chat, no, I have not talked to her separately because I don't want to. I don't need that in my life.
I'm not gonna just sit here and be like bullied behind the scenes just for this girl to look like the angel and take the crown. Like, no. So, no, me and Hydra have had no reconciliation. She has not messaged me. She has not apologized to me personally. Even after she did me dirty, she never messaged me personally. She only could message me in the group chat. So, for me, I'm just looking at it like my hands are washed clean of that girl. My only goal is to make sure she doesn't get that crown and that I get this crown, or basically anyone else at this point gets the crown.
Basically, I'm not the only one who hates Hydra, which is reassuring, I guess. No, I'm just kidding. I don't hate Hydra. I don't hate anyone. I just think she's a fucking bitch. Hydra takes up no space in my brain except for every single night when I lie awake thinking about how I can destroy her. No, I'm just kidding. Hydra has basically kind of just been rude to everybody except for Susan. And I know that Susan and Hydra are close, but the rest of us are not close to Hydra at all. She's rude to us on camera. She's rude to us off camera. She's very kind of like defensive and argumentative in a way that is like, oh, I know you all fucking hate me, so there, well, what about this? And everyone's like, girl, calm down. We're just talking. I don't know, she seems really disconnected from everybody. She's asking me about, can I post screenshots? And I'm like, girl, what the hell? Like, I got some screenshots I could be posting, but I am not that petty. Not until after the competition is done anyway.
Part of it is real tea, part of it's, I don't know, it's like a good half and half. I think her issues between me and Tyler might just be like a fun villain edit, even though I think her comments about me that were aired on the episode.
I think that's like flat out the worst anyone has looked in the season. I think the mix was extremely unoriginal. Like, I think the performance was pretty bad. I think the movements were like erratic and uncontrolled.
I don't think that was just fun villain shady. If that was that, then she's doing it completely wrong, because that is just, you're not being a shady like little villain. No, you're just being an asshole. Like, I can't even give you the title of cunt because cunt has positive connotations. You're an asshole. I think she's just trying to be like a fun villain shady with like me and Tyler probably, I guess, and like failing at it. But I think the tea between her and Trisha is a little real. I think that's real. I'm heated on my part because I'm like, you can't just say all that shit about me, but also I'm heated on like alongside Trisha because Trisha's my bestie in the comp. And I'm not just gonna let a random raggedy bitch come for my sister like that and like plot against her. Like, that's not happening. So I don't know. I think it's half real, half like trying to be silly and cunty when it's not working.
I was gonna do a video where I'm like defending myself or whatever and being like, this person is that, and this person is this, and this person said this, and blah blah blah. Honestly, I just can't. I'm not doing that. I'm so sick of being attacked on a personal level every single week, like 10 times by the exact same 3 people, and I'm done. Like, I can't take this anymore. It's sucking out all of the fun from the competition for me. Orbit hasn't messaged me a single time, ever. Like, didn't try to initiate any type of conversation at any point. Same for Trisha. And that's been the vibe from week 1. There were a couple of us that the popular girls completely discredited and like treated us like we weren't there. And that group was Susan, Callie, Bobby, and I. And we just got zero respect. None of you tried to talk to us. None of you tried to engage with us. And I'm brought to a point where it's gotten so, like, it's too much for me. I can't take it. I'm doing this competition, like, because I want the exposure. I want the money. I really put my entire life on the back burner for this. but I also want to have fun. I'm doing the thing that I love doing the most, and this has completely taken out all the joy of it. I'm not gonna engage with any of them from now on. I blocked all 3.
I'm Switzerland on this. Everyone is entitled to their opinions on Hydra, but they shouldn't be coming for her character because Hydra isn't doing it to be malicious. Hydra isn't a malicious person. She's just viciously honest. Brutally honest. There is no two-faced with Hydra. There is one face and she cannot hide it. She's saying exactly what she's thinking. She's saying 100% what she's thinking to everyone all the time. Hydra is misunderstood to the utmost degree. It is really easy to call Hydra a villain when she's saying, I didn't like what you did and you should have been the bottom, but it's really easy to forget the weeks before when she is fighting everyone and the judges over your placement in the bottom. Specifically, the Orbit situation. Hydra was the most vocal person about Orbit being in the bottom. She was very vocal, like, that should not have happened, but in more loud Serbian. Hydra isn't great with social cues. Maybe it's the language barrier, maybe it's just who she is as a person. I think it's a combination of both. But I don't think she's intentionally malicious. I think she is intentionally honest to her detriment. But she's telling the truth and she's telling her truth.
Yeah, I feel like Susan's just in the middle, and you know, good for her. Good for her. She's really not involved in any of it. And you know what? Slay, unbothered queen. But you know what? I'm bothered queen. So
yeah, Susan has been, like, I don't want to say on my side, but she has supported me. We have talked about all of it. She said she didn't agree with the stuff that was going on in the chat because, like, we talked about it. She agrees that everything I said wasn't a personal attack. It was all like, I think your costume is bad, or like your lip sync in the episode was bad. And in the episode, like that particular episode, I did go way too far.
Everyone has lost their mind at this point. There's no sense of reality. When I tell you, this is all we've been thinking about for months. All we've been thinking about. It has plagued all of our minds in such a way that I cannot adequately describe it. It feels like psychological torture, but glossier, like it's fierce.
We all really want this next win. I know we all do. I know that we're keeping our cards very close to our chests this week, which I think is smart. But I think that a lot of us are also tired, like very tired. Like, we have been doing this a long time. A lot of us, my bank account personally, drained. Like, I know everybody is struggling at this point. So it's gonna be really interesting to see how this kind of goes.
This is what I live with. It's a combination of Drag Duel and Jingle Bells.
The time has come for yet another side quest we are going to put our warriors on. This episode, it is Makeup Madness. We want our warriors to show us a makeup look that is maybe outside the box of what they usually do. We want to be surprised, we want to be floored, and we want to see the whole things. The look, the wig, nothing else matters. We are focusing solely on the makeup today. So let's check in and see how our warriors are taking on this challenge, as well as maybe talk a little bit about their makeup journeys.
Today's episode mini challenge is Makeup Madness. And I am tired. And it's the last day of submissions, so here you go. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna do it. See ya.
I don't love makeup. It's not really my favorite part of drag. It's not really how I've jumped into doing drag. I've always been like, okay, wig, outfit, makeup, like I'm getting there. I look fine. I'm not crispy, but I'm just a little textured, a little bit grittier. My mug can be done
It can be done in an hour and 10 minutes, or it can be done in 15 minutes in the car. I will be nauseous in the car, but I have done it and I hated doing it. I wasn't driving, I'm not a psycho, but I can do it in the car and it does turn out mostly fine, slightly unblended, but for the most part, acceptable, and that is disgusting.
And time for the big reveal. The most creative thing I can do with my makeup. 9/11. 9/11 realness. Sorry, I figured no one else has done it. Wait. Of course someone else has done 9/11.
Okay, hi, side quest friends. We're about to get into this. My goal is orange stars. I'm using my alien mullet, so with the orange and blonde. Be resourceful, reuse, reduce, recycle. So yeah, the goal is basically stars. I'm gonna prove I'm not the mug of season 1 of Drag Duel. So for me, makeup is one of those things that, like, when I started drag, it was probably what brought me into drag, but I have, through the many years of doing it, have fallen out of the love of makeup I used to have. I feel like I used to be better looking. I used to like think I was gonna be like the next James Charles. I mean, ooh. But like I thought I was gonna be like the next cover boy. So I really was like into makeup. I'd wear makeup to school. I would like do my makeup all the time. I had my boy makeup account. And then I started doing drag, and then that kind of died out because I was like, well, I'll just do whatever I want to do with like that creative makeup and just apply it to drag. Well, when you have like multiple shows a week and stuff like that, sometimes you just get your stamped mug, and sometimes you don't do something else for a long time. So this week I challenged myself to like still kind of keep myself in a similar route, but I want to add eyeliner, which I never do. It's so bad. I secretly, if you look through, I have like the eyeliner on my eyes, but I never do a wing. I hate a wing. But I was like, I'm gonna make my eyes stars instead of circles this week. And that was my way of getting creative, because I don't know how much more I could have done. I was struggling to do this. I do like makeup is fun. Makeup is just very expensive, and it's not my favorite part of drag, and I'd rather funnel my money into wigs and outfits than into the makeup, because I think I look sickening with what I have mug-wise. I'm gonna go put on some lashes, throw on the wig, and then I'll do some poses. This is rough, so don't judge me.
So I am about to film my makeup madness. I look like shit because I kind of feel like shit. I've been sick on and off for like a week and a half, but I have my lemon and ginger tea, and I just dipped all my hair in my lemon and ginger tea. But anyway, let's just do something.
I don't wear makeup in like my everyday regular form. I've never worn makeup in my everyday regular form. I like, maybe in high school I used to put on a little bit of mascara and that's it. So going into like doing drag, I was learning everything from zero, from like absolute scratch. And I had literally an eyebrow pencil, which I had never used before, and that was like the only makeup pretty much that I had in my house. And so I was like trying to do contour with a fucking eyebrow pencil at like 4 AM in the morning so that if I had to go to the toilet, my roommates wouldn't see me. It was a mess. It was an absolute mess. But when I actually, you know, officially started drag and started performing, I was trying so hard to do like, you know, a good drag king face. And when I look at the photos now, it's like literally like, it looks like I'm wearing no makeup at all. I look like I have like slightly darker eyebrows, and that's it. It was like a big learning process to get to like the face that I have today.
crazy makeup tutorial transformation, speed through, speed run, whatever. But, you know, as the mug queen of the season, officially, I think that this is my time to really shine. So I'm actually going to do something completely unexpected. I know people are thinking that I'm about to, these are so low. I think that I'm going to do something like never before seen, so big, so wild, you know me. And let's get to it. I've always been interested in makeup. Makeup was the first thing I started for drag because I knew if I wanted to come out the gate, I wanted to come out the gate looking pretty. Bitch, you can start off with the shittiest materials. I started off with big ideas and not the best execution. Pretty good execution given the materials I had. Bad materials, very little materials. Bitch, I had a grease paint palette and nothing else. No face makeup, no nothing. I was just painting on eyes. Black and white and nothing else. Like literally so bad. And then my first like actual attempt at like drag, and when I had like an eyeshadow palette and like setting powder and foundation finally and like a fucking sponge and things like that. That's my first post on my account, so if you want to fucking scroll, you can go ahead. Go queen. Actually, insert picture here. Ooh, so pretty. Why is she wearing that triangle on her face? Why the white brows? Uneven. Awesome. But yeah, makeup has always been an incredible interest of mine. At some point, I want to own my own makeup company. Cosmoceuticals. Hi! It's already trademarked. Don't steal it. Anyway, it's like what I live for. I love it so much. And sorry, I'm mug of the season. Sorry, Callie. I'm mug of the season. Down. So, because I blend my eyeshadow. So, Orbit's signature mug, The Journey, Memoirs of a Tea Girl, Orbit's Journey, I'm Still Here. I knew that I didn't want to do like pretty makeup or like normal human makeup. I've always been interested in really painting the face and putting on things. And the first time I ever saw eyes underneath the eyes was Miss Gay Matte. And I was like, that is so cool. I have to do that. Like that needs to be me. Like I need that. And so I started off with eyes underneath my eyes. So if people think that maybe I was just like a big white under eye girl and like, no, I started off with pupils underneath my eyes. I started like that. My journey has always been big makeup, and I like it, and I like lots of color, and I like big creases, and big eyes, big liner, big lips, teeny little nose. I like to look like my drawings, and I feel like I've achieved that now.
Hello, so we're just gonna be priming our skin with some spray, and then we're gonna put on, we're gonna be doing our skin with a nice powder foundation. Don't really worry about doing the entire forehead. We have bangs, so if you have bangs, this is the look for you. Yeah, just cover that up. You see that nice colorful palette? Okay, just kidding. We're actually gonna be using neutral brown. You know, very, very difficult color to work with. Not easy to blend out at all. So we are going in with a camel brown and deepening that crease, giving that nice ceramic crease. Yeah, but just put it all around the eyes. Yeah, it's looking cutesy. We're gonna put a nice shimmer on the lid, gold on the lid. Well, yes, and then put a highlighter on the lid as well to really brighten up that eye. And then we're bronzing it up. We're bronzing it up. Oh yes. Okay, and then we're doing our nose contour with it because it's nice to contour your nose. Because, well, yes. And then putting white on the sides to make it really pinched, to really pinch that nose. It looks so crazy. Oh my god, guys. And then I'm putting on a natural blush, Insanity. A gold highlighter, Crazy Town. Bitch, I feel crazy. I look insane right now. It's incredible. So yeah, we're gonna get our Creme Shop liner and do that just off camera. Yeah, just don't pay attention to the camera anymore. Just do it in the mirror. And in a dramatic turn of events, I fuck it up and start wiping it off. Because LOL, why not? It shows vulnerability to the judges, and I hope that they can see that I'm really exposing myself to the world, that I'm just not perfect. that everyone thinks I am. So yeah, so we're gonna continue doing that, and we're gonna grab our eye torture device and shove that right in our eyes. And then our Curl Bounce Maybelline mascara, not sponsored, and we're gonna put that on, and it's gonna look really beautiful. Keep going off camera. Yep, and more. Okay, lifter gloss, still off camera. And we're gonna be putting that on to get our nice big juicies all nice and ready. Something I'm putting on off camera, well, yes. It's a freckle pen. Getting that nice skin texture look, love it. And final product, well, yes, glamour. Okay. And there you have it. There is the final crazy makeup look from Orbit. This is something that I would never do. I just think the craziest thing for me to do is brown eyeshadow and a little unblended shimmer on the lid. A little liner, mascara, and that's it. So, thanks for watching. I'm gonna go get fucked. Shut up. Go.
Oh my god, you look crazy. What the fuck?
The woman was too stunned to speak.
It worked.
Hey, so for my makeup, I'm gonna do my favorite makeup look of all time, which you all probably know. I think that's the peak of makeup ever. So I'm gonna recreate that. Obviously, I'm gonna use like all the good makeup artists, just my fingers. The way I started getting into makeup was actually I was using acrylic paints. This was when I first saw Drag Race, and I was like, I'm gonna do this, like, this is me. But I was terrified, like, I wasn't gonna do feminine makeup. But I always painted when I was little, so I started using acrylic paints to do, like, creative makeups and, like, colorful stuff on my face. And I was painting my hair with acrylic paints, and that lasted for, like, 2 or 3 years actually, and some of the stuff that I've done ended up exhibited in the high school. And after that I started ordering like one piece of makeup at a time from AliExpress, and I like had one lipstick, and it was like I would go to the bathroom after midnight and put it on, and I was like, ooh, I've got a lipstick. And I was starting to get like piece by piece. As time went on, I had like a full collection of makeup. And then I started doing makeup when my parents would sleep through the night. When they were both asleep or out of the house, it was like I would just go to the bathroom and do my makeup because it was so exciting for me. For me to do my makeup, it takes as long as I get the time to do it. Like, if the venue opens at 3, I'm gonna come to the venue at 3 and do my makeup like all the way up until 15 minutes before the show starts. Like, the more time I get, the happier I am, and I'm gonna like spend it on doing details and blending eyeshadow and adding rhinestones. My minimum is like 2 hours, but sometimes I took like 7 hours, so it depends like on the mood and on the time I get.
And now we want to hear from you. Yes, you, the person who thinks drag detective videos are fun and accurate.
And this is why we need an HR department. If you want to vote for this week's side quest winner, linked in the description below is a document. You can vote for whoever you want to win, and we'll see next episode who's going to take home the $25 prize. You can vote from now until December 21st, Thursday at 11:59 p.m. EST.
This week we decided to switch it up a bit. We want to see how versatile our performers can get with their performance ability. That's why we tasked them to perform a ballad to us. They can choose whatever song they want, and they can tell us whatever story they want with that ballad. There are no limits beside the genre.
We want to see a one-take performance. So that means no cutting whatsoever, no crazy editing, none of that. We want to see what our warriors can do, just them in front of the camera showing us emotion.
And on the runway, category is vintage. That's right, we want our warriors to interpret a look from era of their choosing.
Now, we want them to stick with one specific era in fashion history. We don't want to see them mixing in a bunch of different influences. No, just stick to one era and show us what your drag looks like filtered through that era. Now, anything before the year 2000 is fair game.
Yes, that means that 1999 is vintage, you old bitch. It turns out that this challenge has brought up a lot of emotions with our warriors outside of their performances. And things are about to get a little heavy as you get to know our top 5 a little bit better.
Trigger warning, our warriors do get into some very deep topics, including self-harm.
So the main battle this week is ballads. We are giving emotional moments, we are giving pieces that mean things to us, that we can connect to, that we vibe with, and we are going to give you our hearts on our sleeves this week. I would say definitely as somebody who like doesn't do a ton of ballads, I think a lot of the difference is with a ballad and like a regular like just like top 40 or like a pop song or a dancing song is you need to know like all the words. You need to make sure that you know where all the like vocal changes are. You need to watch yourself in the mirror lip sync. I mean, you should be doing this for these pop songs too, low key, because like if you can have that face and dance, that is what great artists are made of.
I definitely feel like this round, especially me, I feel like this round, since we all are pretty much on an equal playing field, we're all like elbowing each other out of the way to like reach that win, especially me, bitch. I'm sorry. I think I can serve a ballad more than the other girls, okay? And Tyler. Not a girl. I'm just, ooh, and I'm confident in my runway. I'm like, I'm like manifesting it. I'm holding on to crystals. I'm like, I'm foaming at the mouth. I've contracted rabies. I am like fiending for that like second little like last minute win, and fingers crossed it happens, queens, but you never know. It's up in the air, for real.
I would love a second win. I would love that, like, on my record. I would love another $100, but at the same time, I was like, this competition is crazy, and if I am going into it like trying to get a win, I'm gonna overthink it, because I was already overthinking the challenge so much, basically just because it's like a fucking terrifying experience to be vulnerable to like a worldwide audience. And I have never like performed a ballad before. I've never performed a sad song before. I've never like shown vulnerability like that before. So for me, I was like, I want to tell a story and I want to do it in a way that I think is right, basically. I want to survive the round. Like, I was like, if I don't get this win, it's not the end of the world. I just need to like still be here at the next round. So yeah, I've never done a ballad before. I have only done like maybe 2 or 3 songs that were like serious and not kind of like full of like silliness. Fuck, a ballad? Like, how does Tyler Noll do a ballad? How does Tyler Noll like give like a serious, real performance, like from the heart, from like inside of me as a human being? I was terrified because I was like, I know I'm a good lip syncer, but like, am I that lip syncer? Like, can I do that like without, you know, kind of breaking character or breaking, you know, the moment because I'm nervous or I'm embarrassed? Because I still get embarrassed like by my own self. It was an interesting experience to do a ballad.
I think with the ballad, the face is the most important. I think you can start a ballad with like, I think Titanic struggled with this. Like, you can't, in the first like 2 lines of the song, go to full mouth agape. You need to like have softer moments and then really focus on building to the emotional climax of the song and then like go out, all out there. I think another thing for ballads is the physicality needs to be more like your body still needs to like talk and say what the song is about, even though you're not dancing. Like, dancing to a ballad is weird.
You need to have some form of connection to the song, physically, mentally, emotionally. You need to look like you're really singing that shit, okay? I hate it, and it is a pet peeve of mine when someone is doing a long note and their mouth is like, it's like, it's going up and down and up and down and up and down. We don't need that. We don't need that. Because when you sing, does your mouth do that? For me, no. There needs to be, you need to feel it with your body. There's nothing more sad than like someone doing a ballad or an emotional song and they just kind of like are standing a little awkwardly on stage, not knowing what to do. You need to have intention. You need to have feeling and fluidity in your body. You may think that ballads are like, oh, you don't need to do much with your body. No, you still need to do a lot with your body. It's just more subtle, more fluid, smoother, and softer than rackatititi-tata, you know what I mean? So.
Like, it has to be something where you are putting a piece of yourself into it. I don't know if you can do a ballad without putting a little piece of yourself into it, because I guess, like, even if you're an incredible actor, like, actors are drawing from their own experience. So like you need to be able to connect like your own self with the song.
Oh, so the challenge is to do a one take of a ballad. I interpreted it a little bit wrong. I thought when it said one take, no cuts, that it meant that the camera was stationary. So the entire time I was planning my ballad, I was figuring out how I could do it in a singular space, but I actually love doing ballads and I can do a great ballad. I think I might have shot myself in the foot a little bit, but I stand by what I did. I like listening to ballads more than performing them, and I'm good at performing a ballad, but a ballad requires a lot of emotional energy that I don't like to give because it's vulnerability. And vulnerability and me, we're not friends. So it takes a lot of thinking, a lot of time, and a lot of preparation. It's a little bit hammed up, but not so much that it's camp. And that's camp. I decided I went with something also emotionally heavy, which was The Next Right Thing from Frozen 2, which, by the way, an underrated movie, and you should probably watch it. And the reason I picked that was because a lot of my motivations recently, like the last year, have been very much, I'm struggling, I'm not doing well mentally, what can I do? What do I have the capacity to get done? And that's kind of the song. But also, it's sentimental because my mother really liked Frozen, and her urn was right there in the video. You'll see it in a second. It's purple, but you can't really see it because it's fucking dark, and just know it's there. And the woman in the picture, that's not just some random woman. I know her. My train of thought was scene set the room in a very intimate, dark, but hopefully not too dark way. I think I went a little bit too dark. I really wanted to channel the energy of the original song and just have a very dark place that is slowly coming to life. And it's subtle, but it's there. I wish I'd done a little bit more performing with it. Oh God, I'm giving you too much ammunition. Please don't say this in critiques. I did such a good job. I did so good. I think I'm winning this challenge.
So this week, I chose Prom Queen by Katie Turner, which is a very deep song. I know the like trope of a prom queen hasn't been like done so much, but I feel like prom queens in drag are very similar. Like, not often are you in a cute little dress on stage being told like somebody else won, like, you know, it's like, or somebody won, and it's one of those things that like I've never really ever been able to snatch like a fulfilling win, if that makes sense. I've won things, but it's always been kind of on technicalities, which I kind of hate. But it is this like frustrating emotion that I have that I can never be the one, and it is something that really gets in my head and really eats away at me, and it's like that voice in my head, like when people are like, the voices are getting me, that's my voice. It's that like, you're good, but you know, just not good enough. There will always be one person in the room better than you. And I think this song really encapsulates that and really takes that emotional journey, going through like realizing and talking through like that emotion, like looking around the room, all these people are great, and I'm not going to be prom queen. I'm going to be runner-up. I'm going to be one of the people in the background who just has to clap and smile. And that is something, I know it sounds so stupid, but it's just such an insecurity that I have, and I wanted to convey that in this week's challenge.
This week I chose to do Is It a Crime by Sade. I chose this song because essentially it's about a woman who is still in love with her past lover and sort of dealing with that sort of lack of closure of like still having feelings for him and like still wanting to be with him. And I relate to that a lot because in March of this year, there was an end to a 4-year relationship with my boyfriend at the time. I've never been able to like find like actual closure with it. And like the thing about this song is it's almost like a self-pity thing, and that's what makes me even relate to it even more, because it's like it's so sad that I still have feelings for you, but I do. I don't know if I'll ever not. And even though the relationship towards the end was terrible and awful for me, if given the chance, I would be back with him in a heartbeat, which is disgusting. That's the whole thing, is like, it's sad and it's gross that I still want to be with this person, even though they've moved on from me, but I still want it, and if I was given the chance, I would act upon it completely. That's like another reason why I've like moved across like states and things like that, because I'm like, I just can't have the availability to see you. I can't do that. I need to focus on something else. I need to leave. I need to move away. I need to put all my time and effort into fucking like drag or something, just something else, because I can't do that. I can't do that. It makes me feel gross, but I want it, which is weird. I don't know. It's a weird situation, and this song perfectly encapsulates it. I was not nervous picking a long song because to me, I feel like I can keep people's attention for that long. So if I didn't, oops. But I feel like I could, and I feel like I did. So I wasn't nervous picking such a long song. I actually didn't realize it was that long until we were like outside filming. And I was like, oh, this song is like 6 minutes. And I was like, I didn't even notice that. I thought it was like a 4-minute song. So oops, but whatever.
I think that laughing at myself and laughing at pain and laughing at my own difficulties is something that has helped me cope through everything, and it's something that makes me a fucking funny person. And I'm really glad for that, but that is not what this challenge requires. I cannot laugh at myself while doing a ballad. Like, I'm not supposed to be, you know, brushing it aside or making light of it or whatever. I'm supposed to be speaking from the heart. I'm supposed to be expressing something important and real and raw. In a lot of ways, that's really exciting for me. Like, I'm excited to push myself and to do that, but I'm terrified. Like, it's a scary thing to be honest in your art. It's a really scary thing. And the ballad that I've chosen, and you know, the story that I'm telling, my story, what I've chosen to express through this challenge is something very deeply personal and something that is it's frightening to think about, you know, putting it out into the world for me. The song is about, like, for me, my experiences with like mental health issues, with anxiety and depression. A number of years ago, I was in a relationship that was a very bad relationship for me. It was unhealthy. I was unhappy. I was miserable. I was dealing with a lot of trauma from my past that was being compounded by the relationship that I was in. I look at it now and I'm like, I was just like a broken person at that time, and I had so much like anxiety, especially like I was kind of constantly walking around with this feeling like my lungs are balloons and they're being like blown up to the point where they're about to pop. Like, that's the physical sensation of my anxiety that I had like every single day. Like, I felt like my lungs were just going to burst out of my chest. That was the feeling that I had for like at least 2 years, like on a daily basis. And I was I kind of got to the point, like, I wasn't able to talk to anybody at the time. I actually have only ever really told Shanita about this time in my life. Like, my performance of this song, the way that I decided to shoot it and the way that I decided to perform it was very much like a mirror of my actual experience with those feelings. I used to like lock the bathroom door and slide down the wall and sit on the floor and just like sob, and then when I couldn't sob anymore, I would take to self-harming because I didn't know how to release everything that was inside me. Like, I didn't know how to like talk to anybody. I didn't know how to get help, and I didn't really understand what it was that I was feeling. And so I kind of like turned all the feelings onto myself, like, you know, what's wrong with you? Why are you like this? Why aren't you happy like you used to be? Why aren't you normal like you used to be? I blamed myself a lot, and I took out like all of those feelings that I didn't know where to put on my own body, which is something that I'm really sad for, and I'm really scared for my mom to watch this episode because she's gonna be so sad. Performing this song was cathartic in some ways, but it was also really triggering because I kind of got so into the performance that I really felt like I was in one of those moments. I feel like it's a story that unfortunately a lot of people can relate to, and I feel like sometimes it's important to show like the darkest moments alongside something. If somebody else is experiencing that and they don't know who to turn to or how to talk about it, maybe seeing someone else talk about it, somebody who's come out the other side, is going to encourage them to reach out to people, because you don't have to be alone. You don't have to do it by yourself, and you don't have to internalize and intellectualize everything and try to like solve your own problems, because that's where you start to blame yourself for your own problems, and it's not your fault, and you're not doing anything wrong by having those feelings, by experiencing what you are going through. This is something that happened to me, and it's something that I went through, and I am allowed to talk about it and remember it and see it for what it was, which was a time in my life where I really, really needed help.
So for my From the Heart challenge, I had a big idea with like reveal, and it was gonna be like a spectacle, but as I practiced the song, I started to feel like it was like exploitative in a way. It didn't feel genuine. Adding a reveal and making a show out of something that was very like personal was, I don't know, it didn't sit right with me. So I changed my song. The song I decided on is She Used to Be Mine from The Waitress, the musical. And it's probably my favorite song ever. Like, the first time I heard it, I just burst out crying. Something about the lyrics, like, resonated so much with me. And in some ways, I misunderstood the lyrics, but, like, I need them to mean what they meant to me in that moment. Because a lot of the lyrics are referring to, like, the situation in the musical. But I think the song speaks so much about, like, the gay or the trans experience in places where it's less safe. Because when I was younger, I used to be, like, very loud, like the loudest. I was laughing nonstop. And then as I started to realize I was gay, in middle school, I completely lost all of that. I just started to completely go into myself. And that's been a sore topic for me throughout the competition. Like, you have no personality, you're not funny. I literally had to learn how to, like, be less present and be more quiet, because as the bullying started in middle school, and when the first year of high school came, the bullying went like to a crazy point, because I went to a school where it was like an art school, but it was split between like art students and like machinery students. And when there were breaks between classes and everything, I just started to get like so horribly bullied. And a person I knew from my middle school that also got into the same high school that I did had a brick thrown at his head. At that point, I was completely like not out. I was just bullied because people noticed I was gay. I think he was trans, or she was trans, but he was extremely flamboyant. And the first day of school, like, he fully got a brick thrown at his head and he didn't show up ever again. And at that point, I was so afraid. And I completely retreated into myself. I would just go from class to class. I was literally trying to get sick at home so I wouldn't have to go to school. The reason the song speaks to me so much is I feel as gay people, as you start to realize, like, I don't think it's so hard to accept yourself, but I think it's so hard to accept how you're gonna be treated and all the implications that's gonna have on your life moving forward. And at that point, I didn't see a future for myself at all. I'm not gonna have a life here. I'm not gonna have a life anywhere. And my mom went to the school and to talk to the psychologist. We needed to talk to her so I could move class. And she's speaking to my mom and she's like, well, maybe it's not that bad that he's getting bullied. Like, it's gonna prepare him for when he goes into life. And my mom was so shocked at that, because she was later like, it's the person in the school that's supposed to like protect you and care for your mental health, and for a person in that position to be like, he kind of deserves it, like, he's gonna get it worse later in life, so why not have him get some now? And that was so scary. And my mom was like, she threatened the school with getting newspapers involved and was like, this needs to be public because it's horrible. And the psychologist was like instantly like, oh no, I didn't mean it like that. I was just like, I feel for him, and started to like backtrack for everything. And I got to move classes and it did start getting better. But I feel like I'm never gonna get over the fact that I lost such a chunk of not just my life and the time that I lost, but I feel like I lost so much joy and so much of myself, and I feel like I changed so much through realizing who I was. So I decided to have the ballad start in my childhood bedroom, and then I moved through the house, and it's supposed to like symbolize me going through life, and I wanted to, like, my movements and my facial expressions to match the lyrics that were going on at the time. So the song starts in a very, like, resentful and bitter tone, and as I move towards the stage that I made, there's the first, like, cut off in the song, and the song gets a more angry attitude, and the lyrics get more passionate and more angry, which is also something that I experienced when I discovered drag, because before drag I was like, I literally just played video games and was, like, in my bedroom and hated going out. And as I found drag, I was like, okay, now I have this thing that I want to do so much and I feel so much, but I don't get to do it. The costume that I wore, it's a costume that I wore for, like, a couple of big moments in my life. It's the costume that I won my first competition in. It's also the costume that I was photographed in the city, in front of the, like, city hall in the first time. So a lot of great moments in my life happened in the costume, and it's brought me a lot, like, every time I wore it, so I was like, I'm gonna wear it again. The part of the song that I love the most is, and it carves out a person and makes you believe it's all true. It's such a strong feeling that I have, because, like, at the same time, I don't want, like, my sexuality and what I go through because I'm gay to define me, but on the other hand, like, the experience that you go through, like, does dictate a lot of your life, especially if you're in a place where it's not safe, where it's not accepting. It does change the course of your life. It makes you make choices based on that in life. It changes you as a person. In drag, I get to be and celebrate everything that I feel like I've lost and that I had to let go earlier in life.
With one of the hardest challenges of the season looming and tensions higher than ever. I mean, for real, holy crap. Things are going to get crazy as we get into our main battle next episode.
We hope that despite of the drama between the warriors, you just enjoy the good television they're bringing. Hateful DMs and hateful comments are not welcome.
With just this challenge between them and the semifinals, everyone is going to be giving it everything they have.
But that is it for this week. If you want to know what our warriors are working on, join the Discord server with them, get tons of exclusive content and never before seen footage. We'll join our Patreon today. Link to join is down in the description.
Make sure to subscribe to us here on YouTube so you never miss another episode. Specifically next week when our warriors get cut from top 5 to a top 4. We will also be joined by our very special guest judge, the host of Mangled Morning, Mira Mangle. Let's see if she's going to give these performers a mangled yes or a mangled mess.
But that is it for this video. Thank you for watching, and before I go, there's one more really important thing I need to say. Next week...
Special thanks to patrons Woodcrafted Essentials, Michael Crookshank, and Keone.
I was speaking! God damn it, Derek! How dare